Suicide in a school is tremendously sad, often unexpected, and can leave a school with many uncertainties about what to do next. After a Suicide, a Toolkit for Schools is a resource designed to help school communities deal with students struggling to cope and a community struggling to respond. The Toolkit provides schools with reliable information, practical tools, and pragmatic guidance. It was developed by the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and the Suicide Prevention Resource Center, containing recommendations developed by a group of national experts. This kit incorporates relevant materials and research findings, as well as references, templates, and links to additional information and assistance. The Toolkit also provides effective and practical ideas that schools can use before, during, and after a student or staff suicide. It includes an overview of key considerations and general guidelines for actions for both administrators and staff and can be a valuable tool to help schools get through a difficult time. Created to help schools determine what to do, when, and how to do it, the Toolkit is a highly practical resource for schools facing a real-time crisis. While designed specifically to address the aftermath of a suicide, schools will also find it useful following other deaths as well. It also provides simple and easy do's and don'ts when dealing with a suicide. A suicide death in a school community requires implementing a coordinated crisis response. The Toolkit contains information that can be used to initiate a coordinated response. Included are the team leader's checklist, who does what, talking points for use with students, staff, parents, and the media, sample handouts, meeting guidelines, and links to additional resources. Adolescence marks a time of increased risk for emotional difficulties. Schools will need to provide students with appropriate opportunities to express their emotions and identify the strategies for managing them during this crisis. Because schools exist within the context of a larger community, it is important that in the aftermath of a suicide, the school administrative team establish and maintain open lines of communication with community partners, especially those who are also dealing with the death. A coordinated approach can be especially critical when the suicide receives a great deal of media coverage and when the community is looking to the school for guidance, support, answers, and leadership. Contagion is the process by which one suicide may contribute to another. In fact, in some cases, suicide can even follow the death of a student from other causes, such as an accident. Although contagion is comparatively rare, adolescents appear to be more susceptible to imitative suicide than adults. The Toolkit provides school administrators with ideas to appropriately memorialize the student who has died without risking suicide contagion. School communities often wish to memorialize a student who has died, reflecting a basic human desire to remember those who we have lost. It can be challenging for schools to strike a comfortable balance between compassionately meeting the needs of distraught students while preserving the ability of the school to fulfill its primary purpose of education. Social media, such as texting, Facebook, and Twitter, have become the preferred means of communication for people of all ages, especially youth. Schools can strategically use social media to share prevention-oriented safe messaging, offer support to students who may be struggling to cope, and identify and respond to students who could be at risk themselves. In the ensuing months, schools may wish to consider implementing suicide awareness programs to educate teachers, other school personnel, and students themselves about the causes of suicidal behavior in young people, and to identify those who may be at risk. After a suicide, a Toolkit for Schools is an invaluable resource that is free to all schools. You can download your copy here.